Guys, let's go in game though. Let's introduce our players in our best of 5 final. Early pool and early gas pool here from Impact on Catalyst. It is Impact. Our blue Zerg from Dead Pixels to the bottom right hand side. Top left, it is our red Zerg, Nerchio. Let me just very quickly update the votes, guys, so I can just tell you guys to vote and put it up on the screen. Otherwise, I'll keep telling you guys to vote for a match which isn't actually happening. And that should be good. Et voila! Boom. You guys can hashtag Nerchio, hashtag Impact to let us know who you're supporting here in the finals. So let's do this as we push on through the center of the map already with the first 6 Lings of Impact. So Ling Speed opening but continues to mine gas, which means the Baneling Nest is not far away. And so it is going to be a full-on committed 1 base all-in to kickstart us in the ZvZ Grand Final. I was just talking about, hey, guys, it's so great. You know, ZvZ is not as aggressive anymore. It's less viable to be aggressive, but no. Impact says no. As we're actually going to see, Nerchio just straight up cancels that hatchery. Wow. So Nerchio doesn't even try and keep the hatch. He's going to be playing with a much later Ling Speed. I guess he could throw a Bane Nest down now. Would be kind of an easier way to defend this. He does throw his 3rd hatch down to the left-hand side, which is obviously now essentially his natural. And we're seeing drones and a couple of Lings flying, but not in a good position as Spinecrawler is actually not helping Nerchio at the moment. Building is actually blocking him up a little bit, which kind of does hurt, as we're going to be seeing the Queen popping out as well. And we're just going to be seeing that inject coming down. Nerchio. That's one thing which, well, usually you'd have an advantage, the production of an extra hatchery, but he isn't going to have it here for now. Not just yet, at least. The Queen will help to defend, though. That extra damage output does actually go a long way. First couple of Banes are finishing morph, and they actually morph to the corner of the main. That's where the Spinecrawler and Queen combined will become very important, too. Target down those Banes before they hit the mineral line. I think that was good enough. Better to lose a couple of Witlings than it is to lose the drones. 3 workers going down. Nerchio down by 5 workers, but has got the 3rd hatchery. Finishing up in a moment, which is going to be a big deal, because it means he's already invested 300 minerals in a base. Impact still has to, and that could be the difference here in the next few moments. Impact has been drones, so this is his last few Zerglings. 1 more Baneling as well, but the drones pull away. Ooh, well, actually, a couple of drones. 3, 4. Oh my god, well, that's really bad. You know, Nerchio, if he doesn't lose these 4 drones, could drone up a little bit more right now, and he probably is okay, I think, with the extra base already being finished. Losing 4 more workers, though, it's just a little bit too much damage, perhaps. As Nerchio goes in for the counterattack, his Ling Speed about to finish. Jimmy Jamjaws comes in with the 12-month resubscription. Thank you very much, Jimmy Jamjaws, for the 12 months. How are you doing? 1 year. Enjoy your brand new sub badge, and thank you for staying with us for the entire year. Really do appreciate it as we see those Lings running forwards, grabbing themselves a Queen. Queen does go down. Nerchio right now needs to find something here to make up for what has been a deficit that he's found himself in lately. 1 of the 2 initial Banes there have gone down. Now the second Bane's starting to fall. He will start to target down this base. Realizes that first Zergling is going to drop, so he is going to now... Oh, sorry. Yeah, realizes the first Zergling is going to drop, so he sent a second Zergling forwards to get that Bane, and he got it. Now he's going to get 2 and maybe a 3rd drone. This is really nice for Nerchio. Escapes with a couple of Lings, gets out of there with something. Has been droning behind this as well. And of course with the couple of workers he just killed off. That works quite nicely for him. Nerchio currently leading the chat vote. 64% of the vote to the 36. He is the favorite, and so far, I think he's done enough to maybe bounce back. Getting this base down here, definitely something that worked out for him. And of course now he can take that natural fairly easily as well. He's already getting a spine up on this 3rd, so he should be fairly well protected overall. As you're going to see, Nerchio does grab both of those Banes. That's really nice as well. Difficult to target both down when they're so close to each other without losing the first Ling. And, you know, without losing the kind of the second Ling on the second Bane into the first Bane going off. Nerchio going to be good here. A couple of Queens. The spine wasn't in range there initially, which is why I was a bit worried. Nerchio again pushing very far forwards here with these Queens. I get a little bit worried there as the Banes start moving forwards. Banes don't really do too much though, and the Lings will come in again. Queens are just about protected. Nerchio knows so well, much better than I do, clearly, when he can move those queens forwards, and it was a perfect call for him. Using them aggressively like that allowed him to shut down the Banes before they even got close to being dangerous. And of course he picked off so many Zerglings in the process too. Spy moves forwards. Nerchio now starting to add his own Banelings into the defense, as one single Zergling will run away over to this right hand side. So one Ling runs over to the right hand side. We're going to be seeing a few more Lings and a few more Banes coming on through here. A few more Zerglings coming through the center. Queen's working their way through this Overlord now. It is not going down just yet. I'll put on the high ground. A couple of Lings do sneak by into the main base. Now actually going to morph into Bane, so hopefully that's something Nerchio was paying attention to, because if not, this could really hurt. Ooh, that's not nice. Using a couple of Banes on a morphing Bane. No need to. You could have just done that with Queens. Meanwhile, the Lings are counter-attacking. We do have 5 drones having gone down. Impact starting to get enough reinforcements up to clean this out. And there's a couple of Banes coming in towards the main base here. Nerchio struggling to deal with it. Has split his drones up. It's going to be 7 workers going down. So from a nice counter-attack to just not having realized those Lings did sneak into his main. A mistake Nerchio made there. I mean, he could have realized that. It wasn't impossible for him to have seen it. And so his own mistake costing him the advantage he just built up with that nice counter-attack. I'm just going to be seeing these Lings getting poked and prodded away by the Spine Crawler. Couple Banes going down, not really being too successful. Is Nerchio in a little bit of trouble here? I think he's fine. Again, putting a couple of Banes onto that Morphing Bane, allowing the Queens to target it faster. Is it worthwhile? 2 Banes for 1 Morphing? I kind of feel like no, but he keeps on doing it. So obviously he feels as though maybe he just wants to. The thing is, even if surely it's better to just let the Queens get closer and then keep the Banes nearby. So if it does finish morphing, then you can just use the Bane. Kind of feel like that might have just been mistargeted fire again by Nerchio, because I just can't really see the justification of using 2 Banes on a morphing Bane right there. I don't think he's in that much trouble to defend. Anyways, the worker counts are even, and Nerchio is already droning. As we get into the next stage of this, we see Impact throwing down the Roach Row. Now he's got 280, almost 300 gas banked up. It's a lot of Roaches that can potentially come out here in the near future, of course, and more Roaches that come out, the more deadly a big all-in across the map could be from Impact. Starting to make a couple more drones though, so maybe he's just looking to transition and to play the macro game. Doesn't really have that many minerals to build Roaches with at the moment as Nerchio. Slight worker lead is going to be maintained for himself as he defends with Lings, a single Baneling, and Transfuse on the Spine Crawler. And this time the Morphing Banelings are going to get killed off very quickly by those Queens. No problem at all. 4 more Roaches on their way up right now. Impact continuing to get set up here. What is the plan? I mean, does he keep building the Roaches and all in? Is he making the Roaches right now just to defend and move towards a 3rd base? Looks like he wants to be aggressive. I mean, he's morphing in more Banelings. Currently supply blocked. As soon as he gets out of that supply block, we'll see exactly what the plan is going to be. You gotta feel like the potential for aggression is there. And some Lings right now find themselves a Ravager and more Roaches, so it is aggression from Impact. No intentions of a 3rd base, it seems. Just wants to get across the map and deal some damage. But Nerchio making Roaches of his own. Well, both players are actually on 33 to 32 drones. Cast a curse as 2 Banes roll into that mineral line. 7 drones go down. Well, Nerchio obviously has to rebuild there a little bit. Now Impact can actually drone up a little bit himself here. Still making a few Roaches though. Both players, for the most part, kind of matching each other, honestly. Impact will take the slight worker advantage now. Let's see if that's something which he can work into his favour. As Roaches and a Ravager cleaning up the couple of Lings that did come across. Nerchio getting a good count on how many Roaches are here. One difference for Nerchio is he does already have that 3rd hatchery. The 3rd hatchery now with Impact is just getting saved up 4. That's 300 minerals, which is the cost of 6 drones. So if Nerchio drones up with his minerals that he has right now, well, there's the drone disadvantage disappeared. And of course Impact at least trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm going to be spending this money, I'm going to be expending more. Maybe he isn't. Well, about halfway done right now from Impact. We're going to be seeing the lair from Nerchio. He's going to be starting up once again. Queen in the main base, trying to do a little bit of something. Some Lings will come down to the south side, and 1-2 Banelings will go down. 3rd hatchery of Impact now does begin to build. Again, coming to being about halfway done here from Nerchio. The +1 attack is ahead from Impact. So in the Roach game, Impact has that slight advantage here to utilize. Roach speed on the way up from Impact right now as well. This Overlord finishes overhead. See with the Ravagers up earlier as well. Impact does get those opportunities to corrosive bar down Overlords. Same story again there. The Overlord does fall. Good damage being done so far. It's nice. Slows Nerchio down. And again, Nerchio going to be playing with a later +1, which obviously also means a later +2. Another Overlord down here. Again, this is nice. You know, every Overlord that goes down to another 100 minerals that has to be respent. Corrosive bar still dropping. Oh, dodged. Dodged and dodged and dodged by Nerchio. And as you can see, this Overseer is getting pushed away as well by these Queens once again. Impact not building up into +2 right away, so also run by buying Nerchio a little bit of time in terms of the upgrade disadvantage. A lot of Roaches and Ravagers coming up the left-hand side, and we're just going to be seeing big attack from Impact going to be lining up, obviously. Oh, that's big! 2 Overlords. I thought it was going to be freeze. I mean, not too better than free. Supply block for Nerchio, so he can't reinforce into this attack. Not as easily as he would like to. His Ravagers are a little bit later to the fight, but it seems like he just has more. He's also got transfusions, which are going to help him out as well. And Nerchio taking the fight with a +1 disadvantage. Is still going to come out ahead in terms of sheer numbers and just positioning as well, I guess, as we're going to be seeing the Roaches continue to push down the left-hand side. Roach speed not even in the game yet for Nerchio, so he can't even push that aggressively. As we're going to be seeing the army of Nerchio actually just pulls back. He does start +2. Now, Impact didn't start +2. He invested pretty much everything he could into that attack to make it as powerful as possible, and it still wasn't the issue. +2 missiles coming up right now. We're going to see the Roach speed is about 75% of the way done. A few more drones coming through. A changeling here will be picked off most likely in a moment or so. Overlord picked off here as well, +2 missile upgrades again. In the lead for Nerchio, that will be the advantage going into the next fight for him. Plus the casual 30 army supply lead as well, I suppose. That might help out as well. Nerchio this time should be able to afford a few more Ravagers of his own. In fact, he's already got the gas for a few, and well, there's 3 extra. We'll see. That makes the magic 4 number. Helps a lot against those Overlords as we saw from Impact previously. Game 1 of this best of 5 finals, guys. You're watching the WardiTV weekly number 19 with myself, Wardy, here on WardiTV. Good to be back. Feeling good today. It's the start of the weekend, of course. It's Friday. Hopefully you guys are feeling it too. Nerchio seems to be feeling it. He's playing pretty darn well as he pushes down this left-hand side. +2 isn't ready just yet, but man, sheer number of units. Nerchio just sitting a corrosive bile or two. Well, I say a corrosive bile or two. A single corrosive bile. There was literally one. There's only one Ravager in the army of Impact going in, and well, didn't even need the +2 upgrade. Just sheer number of units. The few Ravagers in the back definitely helping as well. The corrosive bile damage, the extra just straight up damage output of those Ravagers. Victory! As Nerchio takes game 1 of this best of 5. Looks pretty good. A little bit of chitter-chatter between the players here. GLHF, Impact's like, control good! And Nerchio's like, wow, you go, Sue. So there you go. As we kick off into game number 2 to the top left-hand side, the blue Zerg player. Give it up for Nerchio. Bottom right-hand side, our red Zerg player from Dead Pixels is Impact. Alright then. Game 1 started very aggressively, the 13-12. We're going to move away from that for Game 2. Hatch gas pool from both players. Hatch gas pool from Nerchio, hatch pool gas, I think, from Impact. A very minor difference. You can see it in the gas counts. Nerchio is about 16 gas ahead at any point in time, 16 to 20. It really doesn't make much of a difference. I mean, the Queen is going to be 2-3 seconds earlier from Impact. And that is about the only difference. No, the pools actually finished at the same time. Just the gas taking a little bit later here from Impact then. I'm not sure. I'm not sure either way. I mean, it's such a minor difference, so... Just a slightly later link speed from Impact, if he even starts link speed. Right now he's bypassing it. Obviously his intention could be to go straight in towards a lair Roach Roaring, playing towards a fast +1 Roach and Roach speed play. You know, you skip that Ling Bane phase of the game and basically you can build up a lot of eco early by paying, obviously not gasless, but it gives you options, you know, it gives you an early upgrade and gives you a tech advantage moving forwards. Rather than having committed into Ling Bane, wasted gas on a Bane Nest, Ling Speed, which may not be useful. Of course, there are still uses from it. You can still get the third base up faster because of the Ling Speed, giving you map control. So we will see Evo Chamber finishing. There should just be a missile upgrade very early in the game, right? Unless there's some real peculiar plan. Okay, Carapace makes sense as well, of course. Carapace affects both Lings and Roaches. But of course, right now, we only see the possibility to make Zerglings, and still no Ling Speed. So it's kind of like, well, he doesn't really want to make Lings. Now he's adding on a second Evo Chamber. This one at the front may just be to help with the wall as he also throws down the Roachron. Ling's about to hit Ling Speed here from Nerchio in a moment, so he'll kill those Lings of his opponent pretty quick. He has Bane and Nest. Did get cancelled, Nerchio, so he's not going to waste gas on that, and already an example of how. Kind of just what we were saying before, you know. So, again, to reiterate, Nerchio has the Ling Speed, so he's safer to take the third expansion faster, but his upgrade will be later because he's invested 100 gas into Ling Speed. But he did cancel the Bane Nest, so that's 50 gas he does save himself because he's not going to play Ling Bane here. If the Carapace prioritized from Impact, I think we're expecting the Ling Speed to start at some point. That's exactly what he goes for. And obviously we see the missile upgrades too, so he is going to play Roaches, but it's going to be Ling Roach, and it's probably going to be a very aggressive +1/+1 Ling Roach attack, where the Lings having Carapace will actually go a long way to help the defense here. As right now, these Queens need something to help their defense. One Queen down, and then these other Lings look as though they're going to commit to actually make their way through this Queen. It will go down just about in time, and these Lings will not get in to scout any further. But 2 Queens killed, trading out for Lings. It's a pretty good trade from Nerchio's side of things. He'll be quite happy with that. Queens in general over time are much more, you know, useful than Zerglings, especially as they build up energy. They can transfuse, they can spread creep if you want it, they can inject as well, of course. So one new uses for Queens. A shame to see them going down. Again, no lair from Impact. I think it's one of the big things you can look at and realize, okay, well, this is going to be very all in, this can be very aggressive, rather than, okay, this is Impact just going for timing into a transition. Without the lair, there's no +2. Without the lair, there's no Roach speed. It starts up now, but later than Nerchio's with the way he's opened. Very interesting. Now, Nerchio is going to make 11 Roaches as the first Zerglings of Impact come across the map. Actually, only Zerglings right now. So, as though he wants to go for kind of a big +1 Carapace Ling Flood into a Roach-based follow-up as that lair comes into play. Can he get rid of the third base of Nerchio, though? Well, that's what we ask ourselves as the attack starts to move on forwards. And I see those Lings coming in, and they're all going to surround themselves on that Queen. Roaches pop. Not going to be in time to protect the Queen, though. Third hatchery is getting low. Ling's going to pull back towards the third base, where in high enough numbers, they should be able to get rid of it. More Roaches coming in. So does he commit onto the hatchery, or does he commit onto the Roaches? He's going to commit onto the Roaches here now, turn back around onto the hatchery. Maybe not a bad idea. I love the idea from Nerchio. Throws down a Nidus network saying, well, if you've just got Lings right now and that's what you're doing, well, Roaches are probably going to be a pretty good way to shut you down. And as +1 missiles finishes, engage that Carapace, upgrade a little bit. Let's see what happens. The Nidus network is going to be ready in a moment. The thing is, Impact actually pulling this Overlord back into his base. There is still a space here, an area where he could throw down a Nidus. Of course, it is very scoutable now with that Overlord coming back in. So, Impact making a good job for himself here. Being able to scout this Nidus right away should give him some ideas. But Nerchio, I don't think he, well, he just hasn't seen it. He's actually still making drones. And Well, I mean, he's been focused on this attack up here and all sorts, but he's still making drones. He's not responding to this at all, so roaches will come out. Queens as well. Suddenly roaches in the main base with +1 missile attacking. They are choked up very nicely to stop these zerglings from doing much at all. Lings are going to try and catch a roach as it comes in. You can see how fast the roach will die if it gets fully surrounded. With this many roaches, I mean, the drones are already dropping, and now Lings stream into the natural. Nerchio has way too much, and Nerchio so far has impact number. Impact has been in the finals in the last 3 WardiTV weeklies, and he hasn't won one. And right now he's on his way to losing. Just take it down with them being the wrong colours. But usually with so many Lings on the map, one of the big things is that if you keep on counter-attacking, you're going to be very successful in terms of keeping your opponent's roaches from crossing the map. And so I think Impact just thought he had a lot more time than he did, because in his mind he was like, okay, well, I've got like another 30-40 seconds still. This should keep his roaches at home for at least another minute or two, another round of drones, and then I'll start making roaches. And my roaches have +1, so they're not going to be that bad. In a fight, they've got +1 carapace student with the Lings on top. You know, they should be able to hold their own. He wasn't expecting the Nidus. He didn't see the Nidus. He was making drones. If he'd made roaches, it would have been maybe a very different scenario, but again, I think he was expecting to have a little bit more time. The Nidus caught him very off guard. It's probably why Nerchio made a Nidus rather than just walking across the map, because it's not like he brought queens or anything. He just wanted to get there quickly, and he wanted to be there then and there. And again, Impact didn't see it coming, so it was just being a little bit too greedy at the time. And I mean, if you go back and stop kind of the last round of drones or so, and you start getting units out to deal with the roaches, I still don't think it's actually going to be enough for Impact. But if you have the scenario where Nerchio doesn't build the Nidus and tries to counterattack with just those roaches, I think you'd see kind of what Impact's plan was overall. Getting through the series. Nerchio is in the bottom left-hand side as the blue Zerg player from Euronics Gaming. He's playing against, from Dead Pixels, the red Zerg player Impact. Do you hear Wardy's breathing today? I'll move my mic maybe a little bit further away from my face. Maybe it's just a little bit too close. Maybe I'm just used to being at Home Story Cup where they wanted us to put the mics right up to our face, but here, I guess I usually have my mic just a little bit further away to help out. Or maybe not to help out, but just that's what I do, I guess. Hatch got spool from both here in game 3. As we continue to set on up. Boom! Clap Leech. Or Clap Liga. However, it should be pronounced. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub to bring us up to our goal of 200 subscribers for the day. Boom! That was our goal. Not 200 subscribers in one day, but our goal was to get back to 200 subs today. I liked it. Thank you so much, Clapleach, for the Twitch Prime sub. Can you get some Wardy hearts in the chat, please? Get some love in here for people showing some love to the stream. Thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, awesome. Back to 200. It really is incredible. Like, I can't stress that enough, guys. But I have said it a lot, so I will talk about the game instead this time, as we're going to see the Lings are going to be... I mean, it's a little bit of an interesting scenario, but not really. Impact's got a couple more Lings than Nerchio. It forces more Lings out. Nerchio's gone into a Banelin nest here, while we just see pure Zerglin production from Impact at the moment. So he is not really looking to slow this down. Nerchio losing a few units here as we go along. Losing a few units here as we go along, and I will eventually be able to start cleaning this up. But again, more Lings are on the way, and that's where Nerchio's Banes are going to become very important. But they're not here yet. He has started to make a round of Zerglins just recently now, and well, he's been very cautious with this. Not going to overcommit to a fight, even with a couple of Lings, because every single Zerglin will count here. Even bringing his Queen over, knowing that again, every little bit of DPS will help out as well. Even if the Queen tanks some damage, it will go a long way to helping to slow these Lings of his opponent down. Now 2 Banelins coming forward. The Queen is sacrificed. Nice couple of Banelin connections, in fact. Perfect Banelin connections, you could say, because that is more or less all he needed. 2 Lings left over. Well, that's not enough to take down the third hatchery. Nerchio down on workers, though, as he's still making Zerglings, and perhaps just going to go for a large counterattack. Roach is on the way from Impact. We'll see how this works out. 4 Banes already morphing mid-map. Roaches will start to come out, but in low numbers, Roaches get surrounded and killed very easily, very quickly. See Zerglings of Nerchio turn to fight once again, doing a little bit more damage. Ling's going to find the first couple of roaches. This is exactly what we're talking. Roaches get surrounded very easily. They're not in the right positions, and now these couple of queens are in the wrong position. What's going on? They have transfuses for each other. A couple of Banes going to actually run up this ramp already. Roaches can target them down. Now Ling's going to get this around here too. It's because the Lings are counterattacking. So the Lings are counterattacking, but I'm not sure if that's the best decision here. 5 workers to 6 going down on either side of the map, but I mean the Lings counterattacking means that these Roaches are so vulnerable. So Nerchio's getting so much damage, but he is going to lose this third hatchery. Can he get the third hatch of his opponent? I don't think so. If reinforcements streaming out here, Impact should just about have enough to hold on. Nerchio's still just making Zerglings, and you can see as soon as a few Lings come into the fray from Impact, Nerchio is turned away. He's not playing with an upgrade advantage or anything. He's just playing with the idea that he's going to have pure Ling Bane, and that's a bit more effective than the Ling Roach super early, but that idea is starting to fade away a little bit now. Impact being careful, not running into those Banelings. Smart decision. Nerchio continue to pull away down towards the bottom left-hand side, and well, Ling's pushing forwards again. They once again find themselves around on these Roaches. Again, these surrounds go a long way. Banes will help out, but I just don't think it's enough. Unless these couple of Banes find something amazing, but they go off on a couple of Lings, and the other one gets targeted down as well, and it's just not going to be enough, right? Nerchio, he's down 3 workers. He's down in army. He's not been building Roaches. And most importantly, he's down a third hatchery. Now, he is going to start that up now. How much has the third hatchery had an impact on this game so far? Well, maybe not too much. You know, you are not at the point where we're kind of beyond 2 base saturation, so you need a third hatch for economy. It's one of those things where the third hatch will be mostly about production, which would actually affect Nerchio more, needing the third, you know, he needs the third hatch more than Impact does because he's been making pure Ling versus Roachling. Nerchio will catch up on the worker supply now, but too many Roaches to really justify committing into. So it looks as though Nerchio's going to change his plan in towards starting to make some Roaches of his own. Doesn't quite get this queen here either, but he will get some Banes up this ramp and make progress in towards a mineral line, but it's not good enough because the Banes just didn't go where they needed to. Blown up before they hit the mineral line. Nerchio realized before, I hope so. Just top left hand side, our blue Zerg player from Euronix Gaming, it's Nerchio. Sometimes I put really fucking weird voices on when I do intros. I don't even know what I'm trying to achieve with it, like, I have no clue. Hatch gas pool from our red Zerg representing dead pixels. On the bottom right side, it's Impact. Impact was pretty funny at Home Story Cup. Cool guy, liked him. So we're starting up, guys, getting ready to rumble. Looking to see what's happening. Wait to see what the follow-up is going to be from both players. Nerchio opened with the pool first. So a little bit of a safety play here. A little bit of a safety play, maybe potentially some aggression of his own. We'll see how it works out in the next couple moments. Queen going to throw down and inject in the main. And speed will start from Impact a little bit faster here, and especially because Nerchio decides not to go for Ling speed. And so this probably means that Nerchio is maybe intending to go for a similar setup to what Impact did back on Ascension to Aya. Bypass the Ling speed, go into the Rotron and the +1 right away. A bit more difficult to do on Abyssal Reef because the wall off here, you know, you wall off here, and then obviously these units running through the center have to turn around and come around this way and around the side to get in. And obviously that starts to look pretty different. It's going to be seeing the couple of queens coming forwards. Evo Chamber does build up at the front. How aggressive will Impact decide to be? Not very. Did he complete the Baneless? He did. So that's the difference between what Impact did in this game and what Nerchio did when he was playing against what... this is getting confusing, but Nerchio and Impact have basically swapped roles from game number 2. Nerchio's doing Impact's build, and Impact is doing Nerchio's, but Impact didn't cancel the Baneless, and it looks though he will try and get aggressive. Nerchio just kind of played the Bane, the Zerglings. He cancelled the Bane Nest in that game. And went into kind of his own sort of third hatch into roaches. Now you can see Impact will throw down the third hatchery. That's expected at this stage. But the 6 Banes is very aggressive. Now he'll try and drone behind this. Is he just going to straight up bust this down? Like, is that the plan? Kill the Roachron in the process? He's going to try for it. Doesn't go down just yet though. Drones is going to pull up to the high ground. Okay. Nerchio has to cancel the Roachron here. He's not going to survive. He doesn't get the cancel. Probably trying to let it finish so you can maybe get a roach or two, but it just didn't happen, obviously. So far, Nerchio loses a couple of workers. Now he has no lings. Of course, when lings do come out, they're going to be without speed, so they're not going to be super useful. Queen's pushing forwards, and now maybe going to get surrounded. There's a few lings coming out as well. Bane's here to help push them back. Queens, there's a couple of transfuses available, but not many. The first 2 transfuses come down, and now lings coming in as well. Nerchio keeps his queens alive, and Roach are on about to finish. Look at the gas bank of Nerchio. As the worker counts, even when he starts +1 missiles, he'll start up a heck of a lot of roaches right now as well. He hasn't spent his money on Banelings like Impact just did. He's even got the lair already, so Impact having to spend a lot of money on tech right now. Nerchio has 300 gas basically to spend on roaches, on units that are going to start helping him in a fight sooner than you might think. Ling is going to come back around the right and in towards the top side, and Queen or 2 just going to try and help deflect these Zerglings, trying to minimize information. I mean, information's already been gained. The Evo chamber's seen. The lair here was finished. These 2 Evos were actually allowed to finish, by the way, so Nerchio will expand down the ramp rather than across to the left-hand side. Something you can do, and it can help to push creep spread forwards. Also allows you, therefore, to kind of rally forwards a little bit more easily, I guess. Generally, this base over the left side is taken because this base is a bit harder to defend from straight up pushes, but again, it can help you push forwards yourself a bit, so Nerchio might not be too upset about it here in the ZvZ. In terms of against run-bys, this base is maybe a bit better actually, because run-bys will generally head up the side of a map to avoid main armies. If you head up the side of this map now, you're going to hit that wall, you're going to have a bit of a longer route around. It's just going to be a little bit less effective to attack, a little bit more time for Nerchio to see it, to react, those sort of things. 11 roaches on the way from Impact here. 53 drones for the guy. Looking as though he wants to be the... Well, it's interesting because Nerchio is on 41 drones, so now he's going to go back into drones. He has the faster +1. But Impact going up to 53 workers and then going into roaches. Definitely looking pretty good for him as we're going to see Lings coming down the right side. Again, he'll be down the +1 attack upgrade going into this fight, but... not sure how much that matters. He's got the roach advantage, he's got the reinforcement advantage. He's already had a Baneling go quite well for himself here towards the front, and well, Nerchio's going to keep on fighting it. He's going to keep on trading, but as more units come out, I think Nerchio just has to back away, which he can do. As we're going to see, this roach speed is going to be finishing up in a moment for Impact, and that's why Nerchio can get away without Impact chasing, because there's no roach speed for his opponent just yet. So that's obviously relatively... a bit of a positive, I suppose, in that regard. These roaches pulling back over to the left-hand side. And we are going to be seeing this Overseer being poked away at by this Queen. So, Overseer taking some hits. And to the right-hand side, these Overlords still just spreading out and seeing where they can go as well. 9 more roaches on the way up. +2, +1 on the way from Nerchio. Plus supply blocks here and there. He is down in army supply. Probably because he's investing into the upgrades. +2 and +1 does not come cheap. And so because of that, he's down a little bit in army supply right now. Will defensive advantage be enough for him to stay alive? He's going to have the corrosive bios from the Ravagers to push Impact back a little bit here. And to slow down his attack. Even just getting +1 carapace up could be somewhat useful, as you're going to see. Nerchio really leaps on this attack, which is the exact opposite of what I thought he would do. I thought he would sit in a defensive position and try and use that to his advantage, but let's see how it goes. We're going to see a couple of bars coming down, and well, Queen will join the fight as well. More bars coming in will force Impact to pull back just slightly. Impact's army supply is dropping. A few drones pull in for Nerchio. I think he's got this though. Carapace now finishes. A Ravager Bile does strand on one of his own Ravagers. He just has more Ravagers as well though as he pushes this back. Again, one of the big advantages he will have moving forwards is the +2 versus not just +2 but +2 +1 against just +1 for quite a while. And that's why Nerchio starts to get aggressive right away here. He realizes that Impact probably put a lot into that attack and maybe did delay +2 for it. And so Nerchio says to himself, okay, well, if that's the case, then counter-attacking now Puts me in a pretty great position. Is that one of Nerchio's overseers as well? I think it might have been. Or was it an Overlord and Overseer? I'm not sure what that was, but nice. I feel like nice pick-off for Nerchio. Kind of feels like he either killed something of his own or like double kill. I'm not sure. Anyways, we're going to be seeing Nerchio pressing forwards. Maybe not enough units right away. 10 more roaches in production. Unit numbers are similar. Nerchio again has that upgrade lead, but doesn't feel like he can use it. And so he pulls back. How long does he pull back for though? Another 4 biles. Impact not supply blocked. He made plenty of overlords earlier in this game. Nerchio just looking for overlord after overlord right now to pick away at. Flashbacks to the game earlier where it was Impact. He was all about picking off the overlords of Nerchio. Is that back on Catalyst? It's a crazy one. There's roaches and ravagers. Still setting up around the map here on Abyssal Reef. Game number 4. Match point in favor of Nerchio. Plus 2 missiles about to finish for Impact, and he's pushing forwards, knowing that Nerchio obviously doesn't have all the units here right now that he would like to have. There's reinforcements. Well, you can see how many of them are up here dealing with this little bit of a run by as Nerchio takes a 4th base. Again, he expanded out the front, so now he's going to keep expanding in this direction rather than going somewhere different. Still difficult for him to get up here because of these Evos, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for him to kill. I don't think he's too upset about having to expand up here either. The 4th base of Impact, very standard for him. The 3rd base is here, you just expand in front of it. Nice and close, easy to hold all the bases at the same time. Looking good so far. What's up, CW Elf? Quelf. My man coming in with the 7-month resub. Can you get some Wardy Hearts in the chat for the 7 months of Quelf? Thank you so much for the 7 months, really do appreciate. Thank you for the support. Nerchio may be saying that as well in a moment or two if he wins this, because he's pushing forwards. 4th base 6 damage. Doesn't go down as Nerchio commit. He's in a much better position. Look at the spread of Nerchio's units compared to his opponent. Hatchery goes down and Nerchio still has the better concave. Pushes in towards a couple crores of bars, but Impact isn't splitting away from the bars of Nerchio either. Both players reinforcing and both players going back up to max because of it, and that's where Nerchio maybe has to back away a little bit. Reinforcements for Impact hit much faster than the reinforcements of Nerchio come into play here in this position, of course. Crores of bars still scaling the army of either side. Nerchio pulling back now. Not quite maxed out, but he's getting close to it. More roaches coming up. Nerchio still has a +1 carapace upgrade right here. He's pushing forwards this army. Well, he'll see what he can do. Ravage has to cancel here from Impact. Nerchio still looking to be the aggressor for the most part in this game, as he pushes all the way in here. So he is fully committed to this time around. Well, is he close enough to his opponent's units? Is he going to have enough? You have a few of Nerchio's units in the back just kind of wandering around, not really fighting, but instead just, well, wandering is really the right word to describe them as. See Nerchio trying to get away right now. Doesn't really have time to stop and throw down biles. Looks as though he's going to maybe lose a couple of those Ravagers. Anyways, he does start to throw down biles. I think realizing he's going to lose them, he turns to fight now. And he's got a couple of reinforcements up. He did bile down a couple of Ravagers nicely, so he does put the trade into a better spot for himself. He's again pulling back. More biles coming down from Impact's side. Roaches of Nerchio still pushing forwards. One more of these Roaches of Impact continuing to get picked away. 6 drones have been picked off. A few more drones coming through here, and well, Impact has taken the supply lead, worker count advantage, as he's been harassing and killing off a few workers of Nerchio here and there. It has added up. Why did they never go beyond Roach Ravager? Very difficult to tech in ZvZ because it's a mirror matchup. It's very fragile in terms of what you build, and if one player, oh nice catch, hits the Ravager there with the bile. If one player starts to build up into further tech without having a stable position, and I mean a very stable position, then certain timings will just kill him. You know, imagine now Impact attacks and Nerchio's been spending money on Hydras. Before those Hydras come out, he's very weak, and that's the sort of thing which will basically kind of maybe lose him the game because he just doesn't have enough in his army to defend the attack. So that's why we see players in ZvZ sticking on Roach Ravage for so long, sometimes Ling Bane for so long, because it can be difficult to tech up. Especially in a game like this one, very skirmish heavy. There's a lot of trades, there's a lot of back and forth. It's very risky to go into that stage of the game where you're suddenly building the next stage of tech already, because it's just so expensive. A couple more Ravages morphing once again here from Impact down to the south side of the map. Nerchio is still behind on army supply, but may be able to take a bit of a better fight here initially. Just grab himself a couple of roaches right from the get-go, then backs away. Fourth base of Impact was now taking on the south side of the map as Nerchio took his his own fourth base. Lingering by, gonna get shut down pretty quick. I mean, there's roaches in position, so not really a surprise. And that is gonna be a nice cleanup here. Nerchio should be fairly happy with it. Maxed out once again. Neither player really with a bank advantage or anything, so actually cancels a couple of his spine crawlers. Just wants more money back in the bank to rebuild roaches with. Obviously realizes they're not going to finish in time. This is dangerous. Nerchio is a little bit spread out. Some of his Ravages in the front are a little bit exposed. It's never pretty as now Nerchio does come in for the fight from all angles. Well, let's see how this goes for him. I think a couple of the Ravages are very exposed now of Impact actually at the top side. They're going to start going down very quickly, and that's not good for him at all. And at the same time, Nerchio had a couple of units at the back, so he really was attacking from all angles and now continuing to push forwards. So much Roach Ravager coming forwards here from Nerchio. Going to be continue to push on down, so Impact going to be well, pulling away down towards the bottom right side. He's going to lose another Overlord here, but now he's down 40 supply. And what a turnaround that fight from Nerchio. So substantial and so powerful. What more can be said? It was a good concave. His Ravages were just less exposed, and that's a big deal in these matchups, you know, because Ravages, they are a big kind of source of damage output. It happens again here. The Ravages get killed before the fight can even begin. I mean, Nerchio just already had the unit numbers, but this is going to turn into the fight of his dreams as well. Nerchio wins the series 3 games to 1. And he is your WardiTV Weekly number 19 champion, just in case he wasn't qualified for the season finals before.